Hi friends, it's Saturday, September 27th, 2014. Lynn and Jamie continuing our assignment in asking for instructions for today's session. It's clear that we are to continue our work in supporting the universe, in aligning with her soul plan, and that right now her soul plan is to prepare to let go, to prepare for transition. So that is enough for us to get started, and the guides will lead us. And with that, it begins.
I see that hospital again. I see the universe, but the universe isn't in the bed, it's in a wheelchair, being wheeled somewhere.
Yes.
It's like they took it out of the bed, now it's going somewhere else.
It's very thin and it's coughing. It looks like tuberculosis, kind of thin, wasting away.
Yeah, bone.
Lung cancer, something. It's wasting away.
It feels like a cancer.
Yeah. I'm not firmly woven into the body. I, as the soul of the universe, am not
floating a little bit.
Yes. I've watched people leave their bodies, sentient beings of many species leave their bodies over the years, and this is how it begins. They start to disconnect and float a little bit above themselves.
Yes.
It's that feeling of floating a little bit above myself. Asking how to be of service, it's just to stretch longer, deeper into source below, higher into source above, so that there's less of the energy in the physical presence and more of the energy outside of the physical presence in both directions, above and below. It's a lot of sadness.
There's a lot of sadness.
It's not chaotic though. It's reasonably peaceful.
Yes.
Just sad.
That's true. That's true.
I don't feel too resistant. I feel as though I understand that this body is getting ready to end, but there will be another body. I feel like I understand that.
That's true. And I feel pretty tired of this body.
I'm tired of struggling here.
Right.
I don't think it can get well. I don't think I can get well.
No.
I think I need a new start. Tired. I'm just so tired.
Yeah, weary.
Weary.
Bone weary.
Yes, bone weary. How may we be of service? Longer, get the energy flowing through. Clear. It's clearing away the debris or dust,
Yes.
of the lifetime being the physical presence of the universe. And there's someone in the background talking to me about my previous incarnations, me as the universe, the soul of the universe. So clearly this is not the first body I've had.
No.
And they're talking about other bodies, other universe, physical dimension experiences that I, as the higher soul of the universe, have experienced, and how some of the others felt toward the end, and asking us to make comparisons.
Yes.
Yes. And it certainly doesn't feel very different than how that one experience did that they're comparing it to. It feels different than some of the other experiences.
That's true.
But there's one that's very similar. Just a feeling of trying really hard for a long time and then just getting worn down.
Yes.
And not having the oomph it took to make it happen, whatever it is.
Yes.
And just being too tired and needing to start again. It doesn't feel as though that was the most recent.
No, it feels several back.
Yeah.
Feels like it's a ways back.
And that there were others in between that were shorter and more sparky.
Much more sparky.
And there's all kinds of chunks of baggage and debris that are flying up and out the pillar, and they include things like dearly held thoughts, things that we don't want to let go of. These thoughts that we have delayed in letting go of have probably contributed greatly to our illness. If this were a human body, this illness would be in the lung.
Yes.
Lung cancer.
It's true.
The terminal case of lung cancer. It's a good universe. It hasn't smoked, whatever the metaphor is.
Right.
And yet it has lung cancer.
Right.
It doesn't understand how that came to be. It doesn't seem right.
Right.
But nonetheless, it's clearly lung cancer.
What's true is true.
What's true is true. Exhaling out is hard. I feel like chunks of my lungs come out with it.
Yeah, burning.
It hurts. Well, that doesn't mean it's bad, right?
It's true.
Hard is just hard. Burning is just burning.
It's true.
Let's merge, merge, merge. Exhale out the top of our head. And on the exhale, also exhale out the top of the head. Instantly feeling much more peaceful. And I'm walking down it's like a palm frond path. And it feels like some place in Polynesia or Hawaii.
Yeah.
And pushing aside the overhanging palm fronds and seeing this beautiful lagoon, really spectacular, and seeing the white of the waves breaking on the reef and the turquoise of the inner water inside the reef and the darker blue of the water outside the reef. Wow, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
It's as if we're being shown a glimpse of good things to come. It's like the palm frond curtain represents the veil.
Yes.
And then on the other side there's something beautiful. There's something beautiful.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be moving aside the veil and stepping into that beautiful thing. It's a soaking tub, a soaking bath of truth. Feels wonderful. It's like stepping into that lagoon. Now we're soaking in a bath of truth, and all the lies are kind of bubbling away. It's like soaking in hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah.
Feeling everything just bubbling away. Feels wonderful, very cleansing, very gently cleansing. Gently but thoroughly cleansing.
It's true.
And now this feeling of hydrogen peroxide bubbling is moving inside the pillar now. It's just bubbling up through the interior. Feels as though we're on the other side of some significant transition. It's very peaceful on this other side. It's like everything that was creating like rumbling, heartburny turmoil inside of myself is gone.
Yeah.
It's just peaceful. I believe they're talking about the troubled areas of the universe will no longer be there, and the universe will feel much better as a result.
That's true.
It's interesting to me that I feel the turmoil as something like heartburn or indigestion.
Yeah.
And yet I know the trouble is in the lungs. It's interesting, right?
It is interesting.
The real problem is perhaps something that we're as yet unaware of.
It's true.
Because the rumbling, feels very familiar. It's like, oh yes, that is what we're already aware of.
Yeah.
Let's ask to be shown. What is actually causing this fatality? It feels very much like the lungs, and plus the doctor, quote unquote, has the lung X-ray up on the little machine and is pointing to the black mass and saying that, yes, there are multiple spots. There's one big one and several small, one really big one and several smaller ones, and say, here's your trouble, right here. And the several smaller ones are down in the lower lobes, but there's a big one right in the central part of one lung, and it's too big. It's too big.
It's true.
Well, one thing that's important to understand is look how it metastasized, right?
Right.
It had the one big black spot, but now there are little spots in the bottom lobes of both lungs.
Right.
It's somehow metastasized from one lung into the other.
Yes. And it also spread in rapid bursts.
Burst. That's how it did.
Yeah.
It just exploded and threw out malignancies down around the bottoms of both lungs.
Right.
And now those are poised to do the same, to grow big, 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 and then spit out malignancies also.
Right.
And this time, the next time, it seems almost certain that they will go outside the body
Oh, yes.
and infect others. And the universe seems very well aware of that. The universe seems very much in an altered state.
Yeah, groggy.
Very groggy, but is nodding with
Yes.
big motions of yes, I am.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
sure, like have very little doubt, not sure, but very little doubt that the next time the metastasized movement occurs,
Right.
that it's going to
Go outside.
infect others, and I don't want to do that. I love my neighbors, friends, loved ones. I love the other universes around me, and I know that I'm terminally ill, and I want to die without infecting them.
It's true.
I want to die without infecting them. And I know another body will come, and I've already seen it. It's push aside the palm fronds and look. Something beautiful is waiting for me. I know it.
It's true.
I'm not confused. I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to begin to get ready to let go.
That's true.
I see physician, quote unquote, in the metaphor,
Yeah.
reading the chart, and it seems to be a view into the future, because it seems to be after the universe has entered its final, I guess, coma is what we would call it.
Yes.
And that isn't what's happening now.
No.
But I see this event. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And they're basically saying, what a nice young man he was.
Yeah.
What a nice young man. So it's interesting that I was wondering about the gender identification, and this seems to be the answer to that. What a nice young man he was. Very young.
He's not 20 yet.
He's not 20.
Maybe
17,
16.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Well, he's been sick all his life.
Right.
And therefore has a peacefulness that we often associate with women.
That's true.
And doesn't complain much.
No.
Has had a life of troubles. And doesn't complain, very rarely
Really not.
complain.
Yeah.
Almost never. And therefore when he says something, people pay attention to
Right.
it, because he's not a whiner. There's a lot of sadness down here.
That's
at
true.
the bottom of the pillar. Really a lot of
That's
sadness
true.
and regret. It's like a lot of the beings who have been causing so much trouble, it's their regret of, I am so sorry. It's like when we are rebellious kids and we just want to act out, and we don't realize how much damage we're causing.
Right.
And we don't really mean to kill the guy, you know? We're just being rebellious. And then
Right.
we see we've killed him. We feel
It's true.
awful. But again, I have the sensation that this is not the same as that black mass that caused it at the start.
No, this is...
I wonder, again, we were having the conversation about something being overlooked in the initial planning.
That's true.
What was missing was this unpredictable, sudden spread.
That's true.
That's maybe what was missing from the original analysis. Maybe it hadn't happened yet. The analyses do seem to include the growth rate
Right,
of the little spot, but then it does this thing
Where kaboom, and then it's everywhere.
And how did that even happen? And then all those little spots also start growing.
And then they go kaboom.
And then, and it's unpredictable. The intervals are
Right.
unpredictable. They saw it happen once and said, holy moly, let's plan for that. But then the next time it happened at a shorter interval or a different...
It's true.
Yeah, I feel so exhausted. as the universe, just
Yeah.
so tired,
So
but I can
tired.
still take these pictures
Yes,
of myself.
we can do it.
I can do it.